Good morning, everyone. Phyllis, I live in Tennessee. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you today. I'm getting ready for 4th of July. Now, I'm going to make a cold dessert for the 4th of July. I'm making this cake for tomorrow. This cake will be great when it sits in the refrigerator overnight, and it'll be a cold cake. And tomorrow, when everybody's hot from cooking, they will love this cake just because it's cold. We're going to put it in the refrigerator and chill it overnight. What I have done is I had took a box of white cake mix and made a cake. And here's the cake that I made right here. Now, when you're making your cake, follow the directions on the back of your box. If you don't want to use oil, you can use a half a cup of applesauce to substitute for your oil. And I always do that. I always do. Now, let's say you don't want to use eggs, or maybe you're out of eggs and you didn't buy any. So what you can do for the eggs, you can use 1/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt. So really, there's no excuse for you not to make it. If you're out of oil, you can still make it, and you know what I'm saying. Now, we baked our cake this morning. I got me some chopsticks, and I punched holes into the cake, and you can see the holes. I did it kind of gently, but not really. I don't care, about the holes because it's all going to be eaten up anyway. Now, once the holes get in there, we're going to mix up a little concoction. This cake is called Leches, which means 3 milks. Now, we are going to put 3 milks in this cake, and we're going to mix it in this bowl. This is an easy cake. We're going to mix evaporated milk, which I've already opened. We're going to mix that in. Some people pour it right on the cake, but I like to get it mixed up good. We're going to use condensed, sweetened condensed milk. And I got fat-free. I'm trying to save calories on this cake. Isn't that silly? But you got to cut back somewhere, don't you? So anyway, I got that, and if you ever put this in your coffee cup in the morning, just a spoonful of this in the coffee cup, this sweetened condensed milk, if you ever do it once, I tell you, you'll be ruined. It makes some great coffee. And in the wintertime especially, and this little sweetened condensed milk gives you a little boost in the morning too, along with your caffeine. If you're drinking caffeine, gives you a little energy. All right, that is 14 ounces. Also, the goodie thing we're going to put in here is the Coco Lopez cream of coconut, 15 ounces. Now, does it get any better than cream of coconut? You say, my gosh, that's a lot to pour on that little cake. But you know what we're going to do with all this? We're going to soak up the entire cake. Have you ever heard of something so wonderful? Now, you can mix this with a mixer, but you know how I am. I like to beat stuff and scrape and carry on with it. I don't like to get out all these electrical equipments and have to do it with a mixer when I can just whip it up. Now, I'm going to be wearing more than the cake is. Now, what you want to do is just kind of get this blended good. Your cream of coconut is probably going to be the one that's the hardest to kind of combine into this mixture. But just keep working it and stirring it. You could get a little whisk, and I think I'll get me one. And like I said, this is going to go in the fridge overnight. Get your cream of coconut mixed up good. You see it's a little bit lumpy. It really won't matter. It'll be delicious. And remember, it's 3 milks. And I love dairy. I know some people don't do dairy, but I enjoy dairy. I always have. I love all the dairy products. So this cake is just right down my alley. Now I'm going to take our mixture and I'm going to pour it gently over the cake. Let it go in the holes. And hopefully, I want it to be covering the cake that I just baked. Just let it get soaked in some of those holes. If you see some holes that are, just keep going with it. Now I'm going to stop right there, and I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of a lift, just so it'll go down that way a little bit and go down into the sides and soak in. Yeah, I'm going to put some more on the top. You know, back in the day when they had leftover bread, they would take any kind of milk that they had, and they would take the bread and soak up the milk with the bread. So this is not a new concept. A lot of people would take day-old bread, pour milk on it, and sop it up and eat it because the bread was too hard to chew or even digest if it didn't have a little something on it. So they would take the milk and soak up the cake. Now we're going to put this in the refrigerator after I frost it with Cool Whip. And I do this, and you don't have to if you don't like bananas, but I'm going to take a banana, mash it up, and whip it with a fork into my Cool Whip. You can make your own Cool Whip. I'm just too lazy to do it today because I've got a million other things to cook for the 4th of July. If this was the only thing I was taking to our little getting together, I would just go ahead and make some whipped cream, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use Cool Whip. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with this banana. You could probably just use a regular banana, but I want mine to be very ripe because once the banana ripens, the carbohydrates in there turn to sugar. So I want it sweet. Not that this cake needs to be any sweeter, but just saying. I want a little sweet banana. Got my Cool Whip tub here. Got it thawed out. And I'm going to cut that little bad piece off of my banana. I don't want anybody to get a little bad bite. Mash up my banana. Take your strings out. Just mash it up. Now I'm going to put about that much in this tub of Cool Whip. You can put cinnamon in there if you want to. I'm going to use 2 tubs of Cool Whip on mine because my family really likes the Cool Whip. So I'll do that other half of the banana in another little container. I think I will put just a little bit of cinnamon, just for a little extra bite when you take a piece of that cake. A lot of people will top theirs with strawberries, whatever you've got. Just top it with what you've got in your refrigerator. All right, here we go. I'm going to just top it off before I put it in the fridge. See, you can't even see that banana, can you? And people will say, something tastes a little different in here. Did you know you can put anything you want in some Cool Whip? You didn't know that, did you? Now, I'm going to do another bowl of Cool Whip. Now, I'm going to tell you what. You take one of these to a potluck and you'll be the star of the show. People will just, they can't get enough of a cold cake. Now, this cake, historically, is from Latin America. So, it's very good with that type of food. And also, if you're eating Mexican food, this is a wonderful dessert. If you're eating nachos or any kind of Mexican food. This is a wonderful meal with that. So here I got my other half of my banana. Gonna mix it up. You wouldn't believe that that banana would just vanish in Cool Whip, but it does. And it gives it a wonderful flavor. I wish I could just give you a bite of that banana right now. with the Cool Whip on it. And if you've got a little brown piece on your banana, do take that off, because you don't want anybody to get a brown bite. And I use paper plates, and you know why I do that? It's because I'm in a hurry to get all these other things done for the 4th of July. So I'm just cutting back on my dishware that I've got to clean up. I'm trying to do the easy, fast way today. And there'll be other times that I'll show you how to make a cake from scratch. But today we used a cake mix. And there's nothing wrong with that. People have been using cake mix for a long time. But you still need to know how to make it from scratch. Now, I just kind of make a little mess of it like that. You can put fruit on the top. There's all kinds of things you could do. You could load it with strawberries and blueberries. But I wouldn't do it because that's not going to blend in good with all this yummy flavor. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get me a little clean plate, and we're going to see if we can get a piece out. It's much better after it's refrigerated, but I'll tell you what, I got to have a piece. Now, I'm going to get a little spoon and get some of that out. Now, as you chill this cake overnight, this liquid kind of turns into pudding. It's not runny like this. It kind of gets thicker when it gets chilled. Now, if it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad, but let's see. Let me just see. It's white cake mix. Let me see. Man, you taste the coconut. You taste the banana. Oh my. I can't imagine how good it's going to be cold. Whoever came up with the idea of taking old bread and things and sopping it up with milk and then elaborated on this cake, they knew what they were doing. You know, that's what bread pudding is. You just sop it up. This is going in the fridge overnight. I'm going to take it to my little get-together tomorrow, along with some other things. I hope y'all have a wonderful 4th of July with your family and friends. Hopefully I can do a little shot of what of my crazy family tomorrow and what they're doing when they take a bite of that cake. And also, let this cool before we put the milk on it. Let it cool off. Probably at least 30 minutes. Let it cool off. Don't pour that milk on a hot cake. Let it cool just a little. Get it in that fridge. If you can't do it overnight, put it in the fridge for at least 4 hours. At least 4 hours. And it can stay refrigerated in your refrigerator for up to 3 to 5 days. And it will be good. Don't freeze this cake. It's not going to be good frozen. But I don't think you're going to have any left over to freeze. Because if I was there, I know I'd be eating it. Thank y'all again. Like and subscribe, and happy 4th of July. Bye-bye.